I'll begin by saying that there is widespread acknowledgement that the issue of water security has been growing in importance beyond the arena of water specialists and more broadly across the arena of political actors, economic figures, business enterprises, social actors, because of water's pervasive context in human life. If I look to the last 3 years and the World Economic Forum, which produces an annual report on risks, water security has figured as one of the top 3 identified risks for the last 3 years. However, water specialists have been aware of this coming concern for some time, and organizations such as the Global Water Partnership had been established to highlight the issue, advocate the concerns, and look for solutions and promote those solutions. So if we focus on the Mediterranean, and I work with the Global Water Partnership Mediterranean affiliate, you will see that along the states that border the Mediterranean, there is a diversity of water-related issues that has had great impact. Specifically, if we look at the southern and eastern Mediterranean and those climate zones, you're going to see that there has been increased droughts, more recorded years of droughts have been more frequent, and also we find that this is not an issue only to the southern Mediterranean, with variability globally in climate. You're seeing the changes happening also in the northern part of the Mediterranean. Sometimes not only drought. I mean, in some parts of the northern Mediterranean, let's say the Balkan states, perhaps you'll have increased flooding. And so there's a different water issue that needs to be addressed with regards to these floods that have massive, devastating impact or economic effect. So the recognition is there, and there has been, for over the last 40 years, informal and somewhat formal structures that have looked at addressing these issues. You go back to what is known as the Barcelona Convention, which is the Mediterranean Seas Convention, that started to look to bring these states together and deal with some of the issues like water pollution, not only that is in the Mediterranean basin, which is part of the broader hydrological cycle for the Mediterranean, but what's happening along the coastline and the sources, which are the rivers that flow into them. Most recently, you've had this Euro-Mediterranean or Barcelona process reinvigorated by the Mediterranean summit that happened in July of 2008, at that time really spearheaded by the French government, that went on to establish the Union for the Mediterranean, which became a platform, or is a platform, that helps address a number of issues of common concern. And at that time, at the time of the summit, issues of water security were highlighted, as well as other environmental related issues. And of course, we are all aware of climate change and its impacts. And the Mediterranean region is specifically quite vulnerable to this climate variability. So an organization like GWP-Med works to advocate on these issues, to converge a lot of the various multi-stakeholders, not only political actors, but even from a point of view of informing journalists or parliamentarians who aren't necessarily the executive part of government that is responsible for water. And you convene them to talk about how we can address these issues. The Global Water Partnership is in fact one of the champions of integrated water management planning and trying to educate people on how they can look at water in relation to other key economic sectors in a holistic way, become more efficient, and be more effective in the use and reuse of water, because it is a finite resource that we need to better utilize, because as populations grow, demand will only continue to grow. And so we have got to make every single drop of water count. And there are many different technical ways to approach it. There's also development of appropriate policies. This is an area that GWP-Med specifically works in, trying to develop policies at the local, national, and regional level to actually promote better management of water resources.